Here now to discuss is Texas Republican Congressman Mike McCaul. He's also the ranking member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, good to see you. So, what do you make of this increased hostile rhetoric coming from China, in essence saying they might shoot down Nancy Pelosi's plane?
I'm not surprised. This is the way the CCP operates. I think, they're just being very provocative. The idea, he's talking to President Biden just yesterday, and Biden wants to be nice with him. And he says, those who play with fire will perish with it. He's talking about Taiwan. They're going to be very provocative. If this happens, you're going to have to see an F-35 escort with the Codell plane. And they very well may send their own planes in a provocative way. But I seriously doubt they would shoot down the plane. But I think it's important, Sean, as you know, members of Congress should go to Taiwan and show our commitment to Taiwan against communist China, irrespective of party. And the speaker is included. And the fact that President Biden is telling her not to go and siding with President Xi, I think makes us look weak.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you. Should she actually go? And it sounds like if Speaker Pelosi didn't make this trip, it would almost seem like we're ceding the Chinese position that they actually own and have a legal claim to Taiwan.
Right, and that we're intimidated so much by them that we're giving in to their whims. I think she should go. Speaker Gingrich went in 1997. That's the last time a Speaker of the House went. I plan to go there as well. And I think members of Congress should go to show we're committed to them, particularly as China is now threatening Taiwan, just like Putin threatened Ukraine and does today. 90% of our advanced semiconductor chips are manufactured in Taiwan. And can you imagine if China took that over? They would own the global supply.
You live and breathe foreign affairs, you live and breathe politics. You mentioned this, but the White House actually leaking the story that Nancy Pelosi may actually, in her trip, stop by Taiwan, all the while knowing that if they do that, the Chinese are going to lose their minds and give strong pushback. What this means is that the White House doesn't want her to go. Explain the internal Democrat play between the Speaker of the House, number 3 in line to the White House, and Joe Biden leaking her trip. This is unheard of.
And it's almost like there's a battle now between President of the United States Biden and Speaker of the House Pelosi over whether she's allowed to go to Taiwan as Speaker of the House, only because, oh my gosh, Sean, just like with Russia, we don't be provocative. And I think all while this president has projected weakness, which has invited aggression. That's the only reason why you're seeing what's happening in Ukraine. And the only reason that she is even thinking about invading Taiwan is because he knows he's got about 2 years with Biden in the White House to make his move.
You're 100% right, and Reagan was right when he said you have peace through strength. But the New York Times and Axios publishing reports about how U.S. officials are warning of an earlier than expected Chinese invasion of Taiwan. So is Taiwan doing enough to prepare for a potential invasion, and is the U.S. doing enough to help Taiwan prepare?
No, just like Ukraine, I pleaded with the administration to put weapons in before the invasion. They would not. I signed off on all foreign military weapon sales. As you know, we have a 3-year backlog of weapon sales that we promised to Taiwan that have yet to go into country. That is not deterrence. And the administration has wholly failed to get those weapon systems in. And again, I think Xi's timeline is expedited now because he would far prefer to do this under this weak president rather than wait for a Republican to enter the White House in 2024.
Yeah, he doesn't want he doesn't want Donald Trump or any other Republican president in office. The response might be far different than under Joe Biden. And Congressman McCaul,
100%.
Thanks for joining me. Appreciate it.
Sean, good seeing you. Thanks so much.
All right.